Many years ago, in the beautiful city known as Enugu, there lived a young lady named Belinda. Belinda was a very beautiful lady. Ever since she was little, everyone complimented her for her beauty. Her smooth chocolate skin glowed in the sun, and her beautiful eyes sparkled like tiny stars. Everywhere she went, people couldn't help but admire her. Belinda, who was a 20-year-old lady from a humble background, her mother sells vegetables in the local market, while her father was a carpenter. Belinda's parents were not financially buoyant, but yet still decided to send Belinda to the university. When Belinda was in her 100 level, different men was flocking around her, asking her for a relationship and for her hand in marriage. It was not something new to Belinda, because right from her secondary school days, boys flock around her because of her beauty. And among these young men was Wilson. Wilson was a tall, young, handsome man. He was also a student. He was in his 200 level. Belinda and Wilson were in love. They do things together, like studying together and walking to lectures together. Belinda and Wilson was very much in love with each other and have planned to get married to each other after they graduate from school and doing well financially. However, 3 years later, when Belinda was in her final year at the university and Wilson was running his youth service program, it was few months for Belinda to write her final examination, but Belinda has not paid her school fees. Belinda was very sad and confused. She did not know where the money will come from, as her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Obiora, did not have the money for her school fees, as they have sold most of their properties, lands, and other valuable things for her to get to her final year. Belinda sat in her room, looking very sad. She will cry all night, praying and asking God to intervene in her situation. She has called Wilson and told him about her school fees. My love, it's just few months to exam and I've not paid my school fees. And I don't have hope of getting it from anywhere, Belinda said, crying profusely. Wilson said, my love, I would have helped, but I don't have any money on me. The money I'm being paid every month, I'm using it for feeding and other things. I'm sorry, I can't help you, he said and hung the phone. From that day, anytime Belinda called Wilson, he will not speak and will not even return her calls. And anytime he managed to pick up, he will sound distant, telling Belinda that he needs to go and attend to some important things. Soon enough, Belinda noticed the change in attitude, and when she confronts him, Wilson spilled the bombshell. I don't love you anymore, and I'm no longer interested in this relationship. Let's go our separate ways, please. Before Belinda could say a word, Wilson hung the phone and blocked her number. Belinda tried calling him several times, but noticed her number have been blocked. Belinda cried and cried. She was shattered. At this critical time of her life, the best thing Wilson could do was to break up with her. She thought to herself, Belinda was so devastated. She has given her all to the relationship, and Wilson was her first love, her first in everything, in kissing and romance. As days passed, Belinda decided to pick up the shattered pieces of her life and gather them together. She thought of how she will raise the money for her school fees. Then she decided to look for a job, and in no time, she got a job as a waiter in a big restaurant. So Belinda started working at the restaurant and saving up her salary and any little tip she got from good customers. Among many customers that gave Belinda tips after she served them, one stood out, Afam. Afam was a big businessman. He owned a big company where they sold cars. Afam was a very wealthy man. Money was not his problem. And since the first day Afam set his eyes on Belinda, he fell in love with her. It was love at first sight. Afam did not take any chances. He made his intention known to Belinda and promised to give her a better life. Belinda fell in love with Afam's money, but she does not love Afam because of his size. Afam was a very fat man with pot belly. He was not what we would ordinarily call handsome. So Belinda found Afam unattractive, so she rejected his proposal. Afam held his peace. Few weeks to Belinda's final examination, but yet she haven't paid her school fees. So that day, when she went to work, she was not looking happy as usual. So as she served Afam his drink, Afam noticed her sad expression. Then he asked, Belinda dear, is everything okay? Yes, everything is okay, Belinda said, faking a smile. You can tell me anything, oh, Afam said, looking concerned. At that point, Belinda could no longer hold back her tears. She started crying. Exams is starting in few weeks, and I've not paid my school fees. And my parents don't have the money to give me. Afam felt sorry for her. He consoled her and wiped her tears with his handkerchief. When Belinda was stable, Afam said, Belinda, you know I love you and I will love to marry you. Will you marry me? Marry me and money will never be your problem ever again because I have enough. Enough for you and your family to spend. Belinda looked at him in confusion. She did not respond. That night, Belinda sat on her bed, thinking about what Afam said. She did not love Afam and will not want to marry him because of his plus size. but she needs the money. Belinda thought about it critically. Then she made her decision. The next day, when she arrived at her workplace, she was not settled. She was eagerly waiting for Afam. Immediately she sighted him. She rushed to him and said, "I will marry you." Afam was very excited and he hugged her passionately. And few days, the preparation for their wedding was intense. Belinda and Afam traveled to see her parents for the first time. Although her parents was shocked to see their daughter with a man that is fat as a GP tank. But they quickly masked their shock because they saw that he was rich. Afam was wealthy. They welcomed him well, and Afam gave Belinda's parents a whooping sum of 5 million naira on the spot. They were so happy. They gave their blessings and picked a date for the wedding immediately. Belinda was not so excited, but her parents have given their blessing. So Afam paid for Belinda's school fees, and immediately after her examination, they got married in a lavish wedding ceremony. Afam was very happy. He danced and danced non-stop. Belinda, on the other hand, forced a smile on her face all through the wedding. She was very uncomfortable. She could not believe that this was the man she ended up with, despite how beautiful she was. Later that night, when they have retired to Afam big mansion, after the wedding ceremony, Afam was very excited. He has been patiently and eagerly waiting for this moment to connect with Belinda. Then he turned to her and said, "Babe, finally we are married. I can now go to Jerusalem," he said, trying to touch Belinda. Belinda faked a smile and placed her hands on his chest, stopping him. She said, "My period just started." Afam looked at her unbelievably, then said, "It's fine. Take your time." Then he went to sleep. Afam was very disappointed. He has dreamt of this day. While Belinda sat on the couch close to the bed, she thought to herself, "How long will I keep up with this? This man is too fat and he irritates me. Gosh!" Few minutes time, Afam started snoring. Belinda could not believe her ears. Hey! He also snores? Ha! I'm finished. How will I be able to cope with this?" she lamented. Early the next morning, while Belinda was still asleep, Afam came holding a tray of breakfast. He said with a loving voice, "Babe, wake up. Breakfast in bed." Belinda opened her eyes gently, then stood up. She thanked him, then said, "You shouldn't have." Afam said, smiling, "You are my baby, and I will do anything to make you happy." The days that followed, Afam did everything possible to make Belinda happy. He took her out to different places, to the park, restaurants. He took her to a boutique for her to change her wardrobe. He took her to a spa where she would be pampered. She was massaged, she did her facials, and also pedicure and manicure. He also gave her a new car. Afam was very intentional. He spoiled Belinda silly, buying different things for her and making sure she lacked nothing. It's been 2 weeks since Afam and Belinda got married. Yet, Belinda have not performed her marital duties to Afam. So that night, Afam called her and said, "Babe, what is wrong? I thought I should give you time for you to come around, but it's not happening. It's been 2 weeks since we got married, and you have not performed your marital duties. You don't allow me to touch you or even cuddle you. Am I irritating you?" "No," Belinda said. After much discussion that night, Belinda reluctantly performed her marital duties to Afam. Belinda was prepared for that night. She has already made up her mind that she will not get pregnant for Afam. So she bought contraceptives, and immediately they were done doing the do, she took it without Afam knowledge. Then she laughed and said, "Fat fool, you think you can tie me down with marriage, Abi? No way. Because I was desperately in need of my school fees. Then you used that opportunity to sneak into my life. By the time I'm done with you, you will regret the day you set your eyes on me," Belinda said, sneering. Few months later, Belinda went to the supermarket to get some groceries. When she was busy picking what she needed, she had someone called her from behind. Belinda, when she turned, she was surprised to see Wilson standing in front of her, looking handsome like ever. "Wilson, is that you?" she said, stammering. Wilson came closer and they hugged each other. "How have you been? How is everything with you?" Wilson responded, "I'm fine. I heard you are married now." Belinda said, "I'm married. And you? How are you doing?" "So you did not wait for me, right?" Wilson said, looking sad. Belinda said, Are you not the one that broke the relationship?" Wilson said, That time, I had so many things going wrong in my life. I even lost my dad during that time. So I was not in the right frame of mind. Can we go somewhere quiet and discuss?" Belinda agreed and they went to a restaurant. They discussed and catch up on old time and exchange number before departure. From that day, Belinda and Wilson will talk on phone for length. And when Afam leave for work, Belinda will go to Wilson house, and they will spend hours laughing and chatting. With time, their soul and spirit started to connect, and they start making love with each other. Belinda will go ahead telling Wilson that she does not love her husband, that she married him because of his money, that he is too fat and irritating, and he can snore. Wilson laughed and said, "How are you coping?" My brother, God is helping me." With time, Belinda started demanding lots of money from Afam, giving him one excuse or the other. Afam, with his large heart, did not suspect anything. Belinda will take the money and give it to Wilson. Belinda and Wilson were making plans to elope to a different country and start a new life there. Months later, Belinda have been able to extort a lot of money from Afam. So one day, when Afam left for work, Belinda packed all her things, her clothes, jewelries, gold, diamond, shoes. She even break open Afam's safe and packed all the money. She entered her car and drove off to Wilson's place. There, they made plans and they eloped to Ghana. That evening, when Afam returned from work, he was shocked to see their room empty. Belinda's things was not there, and his safe was empty. Afam collapsed to the floor. He could not believe his eyes. He was shocked to his bone marrow. He tried calling Belinda, but it was not connecting. When he was pacing around the room, he noticed a piece of paper on the table. He picked it up and it read, "Dear Afam, lover boy, I want you not to bother looking for me because I'm not within your reach. You tricked me into this marriage because I was desperate for my school fees. I never loved you. How can I love a fat, shapeless man like you with pot belly, tufiakwa, as beautiful as I am? Hey, never the mind. Don't bother looking for me." Afam collapsed. He cried and cried to the point he fell ill. 2 days later, Afam sat on his bed, looking blankly. Then he said, I will not let this take the better part of me." So that night, Afam made a decision that he's going to work on himself. The next day, he went to a gym center to register. When he got there, he stood at the entrance looking confused. When he saw the big equipment, he was discouraged and wanted to leave. When a young lady who have been observing him spoke up, "Do you want to give up before even trying?" Afam looked at her in surprise. He said, "This equipment looks difficult. Oh, I cannot." The young lady, whose name was Sandra, laughed and walked close to him. "You can do it. You just have to believe in yourself and be determined to make a change. It might be difficult at first, but after some days, you will get used to it and it will become exciting. Come, let's go inside and try some equipment, she said, smiling at Afam. Afam stared at her for a while, then reluctantly followed her. The first day wasn't an easy one for Afam, but Sandra kept encouraging him, and in months, Afam lost a lot of weight. He now looked healthy and very handsome. Afam was very grateful to Sandra for standing by him through his journey. And along the line, they started dating. And within a year of courtship, Afam and Sandra got married in a very lavish wedding ceremony. Afam was very happy. He has gotten married to someone that genuinely loved him. While Belinda, things didn't work out for her the way she planned. 2 months after they eloped to Ghana, Wilson packed all the money she stole from Afam and traveled to Dubai. And since then, she has not set her eyes on him. So since then, she has been working menial jobs to survive. Life haven't been easy for her. Then she decided to return to Afam. If peradventure, he will forgive her. So she packed her things and returned back to Nigeria. She went straight to Afam's house. When she got there, she knocked at the gate. When the gateman saw her, he said, Madam, what are you doing here?" Belinda shouted angrily. "Are you okay? What kind of question is that? I'm here to see my husband. Is it in?" As they were talking, Afam shouted from the window, "Isa, what is happening there? Why all the noise?" Isa replied, Oga, na former madam o. She said she want to see you." Afam said, "Let her in." Belinda walked into the house, looking confident, but was shocked when she saw a beautiful young lady holding a baby sitting close to Afam. And what was more shocking to her was that Afam was no longer fat. Afam said, what are you doing here?" Belinda fell on her knees and said with tears in her eyes, "My husband, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Let's forget the past and start afresh." Afam said angrily, "Start afresh? So after all you did, you have the mind, the audacity to come here and say this rubbish words? You must be out of your mind. Thank God you left. How would I have met my beautiful wife, Sandra, who helped me to lose weight and become confident once again in myself, and also look healthy with her love and encouragement? If you know what is good for you, leave here and never return, or else I will ask the police to arrest you for theft." Mad woman. Belinda was so ashamed. She wept and wept as she left their house. Afam gave the gateman a very stern warning. "Isa, if I ever see that mad woman in my house again, consider yourself sacked." Afam said angrily. Belinda left in shame, weeping and weeping. She felt so bad. She wished she could turn the hands of time, but it was too late. She realized that there was nothing outside that she was looking for. Now she has lost her husband, the life of luxury, affluence, and pampering that she once enjoyed, and the true love that she once enjoyed from her husband. Hi, besties. It's your girl Ify Best. Thank you for watching this story to the end. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that Belinda deserves all that happened to her? Please let me know. I will be waiting for you in the comment section. And please, if you love your girl Ify Best, please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. And watch the ads. Like and share this story to your loved ones. Bye until I bring another story your way. Much love from Ify Best.